1-year-old Abdi is beginning his life in a nightmare. He is dangerously malnourished, a condition aggravated by chronic diarrhea. During a brief interview with VOA, he and his mother, 30-year-old Qaali Abdi, cannot stop coughing.
We are suffering. I'm sick. The children are sick. Their father is sick. We have nothing. My husband is now in the hospital.
The mother of 6 explains that Abdi and her family's health woes began when they fled Somalia.
Where would we sleep? We had no place to sleep. On the road we were suffering. We had nothing. The wind was blowing heavily. The sun was hot. Many people died along the way.
Abdi and his brothers and sisters have been living for the past month in the Dadaab refugee camp, where tens of thousands of children like him have been streaming in over the past few months. Malnourished and sick children are showing up in Dadaab and all across the Horn of Africa, poignant reminders of the cruelty of drought, famine, and war. The problem is daunting, with malnutrition rates skyrocketing. An estimated 500,000 children in the Horn of Africa need immediate life-saving assistance. Olivia Yambi is a representative of the United Nations Children's Agency in Kenya.
The threshold for an emergency is around 15% global acute malnutrition. In most areas highly affected, we are recording rates of over 35%, including in the parts we are visiting now in the northern belt of Kenya. Most of the children who are severely malnourished are very young children under the age of 3.
And that has serious long-term implications, says Roselyn Mullo, the European Commission's nutrition expert in charge of the Horn of Africa.
So they will have challenges when it comes to academic proficiency in the future, meaning that it would even roll down to when they reach adulthood, governments will not be able to have productive workers. It would also have an impact on them in the sense, particularly girls, when they become mothers, they'll not be able to give birth to well-nourished children, something known as the low birth weight children.
Mullo says there's need for long-term programs and services to help children develop physiologically and perhaps reverse some of the effects of what they are going through now. But it is not just malnutrition and other physical calamities that children and their families find debilitating. Mumino Mohammed and her 8 children walked for 18 days to get to Dadaab. The children were separated from their disabled father while fleeing Somalia.
My children do not have a father. Up to now they are looking. They are feeling bad because they are missing their father.
The UN Children's Agency's Yambi says the loss of family members has a dramatic psychological impact on children.
During the long distances of walking, some parents die on the way, some children die on the way. And children are directly exposed to these very traumatic experiences. And it's something that has to be dealt with, and that is why we are recommending support for counseling services to get a feel of how children relate to these issues.
Parents, too, are distressed at their inability to provide their children's basic needs. Qaali Abdi says she is too weak to even breastfeed Abdi, a basic and key role in a mother's life. Cathy Majtenyi for VOA News, Dadaab.